Hello everybody and welcome back to Ozymandias. And indeed we are inside the Ozymandias. Brave test pilot Jebediah Kerman is doing a shakedown run with Ozymandias the 8th. So here we are in our simulation. We are in orbit around Kerbal and we're going to test out the main systems of this vehicle. Cargo bays, yes they work. Lights, yes they work. Okay, we have some radiators and we have some solar panels. So everything looks good. Enough clearance for everything. And so it is time to test our resource probe if we can get it out of the cargo bay and working. So we are clear. I have to activate the monopropellant because if I wouldn't and I would activate RCS, even though I use the Werner engines on the main vehicle, they would still drain the monopropellant in this thing. So yeah. I just realized that this probe, it does have two big batteries, but it does not have a means to create electricity. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to do some adaptations to this before we can launch. So good thing we do this simulation here, so these kind of little things come to light before we go to the outer planets itself. So back into the cargo bay, and now it is time to test the lander. First of all, we have to get it out of the cargo bay, and yeah, that somehow does not work. Okay. Well, this is embarrassing. There should be enough clearance, but for some reason there isn't. And yeah. Suddenly it worked after I disconnected the lander from the small tug up top, and I am not really sure why. But hey, we got out of the Ozymandias and we're firing our engines. They work. Testing the staging now. Ready and boom! Oh, boom, indeed. Whoops. But it seems that nothing important was harmed. So releasing the descent stage, and now we are on the lander proper. This will be the thing that is going to land on everything else besides Slate, one of the biggest moons in the Kerbal system. Just going to test out the engines real quick, if they work, but I'm pretty sure they do. Yes, they do. And also the air brakes are set in a mode that they don't act as control surfaces, which would be annoying if I wanted to get out of the cargo bay and the air brakes would flop left and right, so they would block the lander inside. And of course we have some ladders, because if we land on Slate, then the surface gravity is so high that I would not be able to get back up into the lander can without ladders. Okay, time to get back inside. I hope this will be easier than getting it out. Maybe there was some glitch or something in the program, I'm not sure. Okay, time to dock. Yes. So the Ozymandias is capable of traveling many miles, and therefore it uses its nuclear engines. But first we're going just a little stop inside our home planet's sphere of influence, and that is to minimus. And here we go. Our nuke engines are firing, And the radiators are, of course, working overtime to compensate for the heat that the engines generate. Just a little beauty shot of Kerman in the background with the Ozymandias in the front. Some slight maneuvering, everything works. Seems like my balancing techniques using one of the fuel tanks to fill only one with oxidizer and locking it worked. So yeah, we are on our way and it's looking really good. So the thing is, there we go, some little heat diagram. So the thing is, I'm not really sure that this will be actually the stage that will go to Sarnus, that Saturn-like planet from the Outer Planets mods, because probably the second stage of the launcher will already be... Oh, okay. Something exploded. It was the lights. Okay. Overheating. That's not good. So that was not even 1,000 meter per second burn. Okay, the light in here is gone. And yeah, that part is quite hot. So... okay, well, maybe I should add some more radiators somewhere on this vehicle. But still, we managed to get to minimus without any other equipment exploding. Yay! So now it's time to get down to the surface of minimus, and this will be a two-part process. Part 1, deorbiting. Part 2, of course, landing. And both will be done with as well the nerve engines as the third radial engines. So the main grunt is done by the nuclear engines, because even though they provide relatively small thrust compared to other engines like the Rhino or the mainsail, they are highly efficient and they are quite sufficient for minimus. So I could even land this thing on its tails, but unfortunately, of course, as you can see, I don't have any landing gear there or anything else that would be able to stabilize this thing if I landed it on its tail. So, firing again. So we're going on the flats, which is of course the easiest target. And, well, easiest target, you could target anywhere, but it's the easiest place to land. And yeah, I did not really finish my sentence earlier on when I said I wanted to get this thing to Sarnus, and I was not really sure if I would send only this thing or this thing with the previous stage attached. I'm pretty sure I will do the latter to have more delta V, even though this here already has more than 4,000 meters per second, so it's really quite capable. But yeah, you can never have enough delta V, especially when you go to previously unexplored planets. Heading straight down to the surface, we have killed our horizontal velocity nicely and we are closing in on the surface. So now it's time to switch over to the radial engines. Landing gear out, radiators still active, but we have retracted our solar panels so they would not crash into the surface. Closing in on the surface really slowly, really slowly. Thankfully minimus's gravity is so low, but still this is almost a 260 ton ship, so yeah, and touchdown, gently and safely. The skills of master test pilot Jebediah Kerman once again made a victorious landing. So the drills work. they have surface contact, they can drill. The refinery also works, and yeah, so it's time to completely refill this thing and then get back up into orbit just to test out all systems, and then we can end this simulation and start the real mission. So here we go, some solar panels, so I would not get drained in the electricity department. Just a little time skip so I could fill up my resources. Looking good. Just a little more. And we are finished. Retracting the drills. And now it's time to get back up into orbit. And boom! Radial engines still have enough power to lift this beast into the skies, even though we are now completely filled up and therefore a lot heavier than before. So, whoops, wrong direction. We are currently heading into a counterclockwise orbit or retrograde orbit. And we don't want to do that, because the rotation of minimus is clockwise. Well, it depends on how you look at it. Regardless, we are doing now a prograde burn as it should be. And therefore, we are heading up to the skies, radiators and solar panels fully extended, so we can harness the power of the sun in all its glory. So this is going to be a cakewalk. As you can already see, we have enough delta V to get out there. Have enough delta V to get to other planets or to anywhere else. So this was a successful test mission. Most of the system worked perfectly. I'm still going to have to look at heat management though, and also a little bit at that resource scanner probe. But those are just minor adjustments, and of course would not warrant for a new version of the Ozymandias. Those are just minor things that have to be fixed. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.